You were right. Once you were able to get a fire going, it became quite cozy in here. Really, again, I'm very sorry to trouble you. You've bandaged my ankle so well. I feel as though... Are you sure I couldn't sleep on the floor instead? I hate the idea of taking your bed when you've already been so kind. Well, no, I've never slept directly on a stone floor, but there is a first time for everything, right? Just because I'm a princess doesn't mean I'm not capable of withstanding hardships. Oh, all right. Then I will humbly accept your original offer. I'm sorry if I offended you by pressing the matter. This soup you've made is wonderful. You may not believe me, but I actually become very tired of the food served at the palace. It's often an assault of strong flavors and rich tastes, but this is simple and gentle. I'm enjoying it very much. I am warm enough, thank you. The pelt you've draped over me is doing the job nicely, and my tea is still hot. I've never tasted anything like it. Do you dry the plants yourself? I see. Wildflowers from the nearby fields. Delightful. I cannot compliment you enough. Everything about your life here in this cottage seems charming. I wish I could stay here forever. Oh, not that I dislike my life as one of the princesses of the kingdom. It's just... I'm not very good at being the center of attention when I'm with all of my family. They all just shine so brightly. I feel terribly underwhelming. Even with my speciality. Oh, I didn't know that average citizens knew about that. I thought it was more like a royal family secret that every princess is born with a magical ability. Mine is nothing impressive. But my sister Elizabeth can spin straw into gold. Oh, and the second eldest, Ruth, her tears can cure blindness, and... Oh, mine, well, like I said, it's nothing special. I can communicate with animals by singing. Silly, I know. Here and there I can get mice or birds to help people find things they've lost, but it's not like I can command the animals to do anything. The best I can do is ask nicely for their help. If a bear was about to eat you, I couldn't stop it. Bears are, rather stubborn, I've found. My ability... It's not really very helpful to anyone. Perhaps if I was bold and persuasive like my father, but I'm just too timid to convince animals to do much more than have picnics with me and play in the woods. The town crier called me the least of the 12 sisters once, and I'm sure he was right. Which is why I must know. Why would you ask the king for my hand in marriage? Is it because I seem like the quickest route for you to gain fortune and status without having to compete with other suitors? Please be honest, I won't be angry. My answer lies on the wall? Whatever do you mean? That rapier there? Yes, it is quite fine. In fact, it looks like one of the ones issued to the King's Guard once they've completed their final training. Exactly like one of those, in fact. Where did you acquire that, Mr. Woodcutter? Oh, yes, I do have a King's Guard assigned to me back at the palace, but he's... Well, I hate to speak unkindly, but he is a bit, you see, he has a bit of a drinking problem and spends much of his time asleep or away instead of with me. I understand. I mean, I'm not very important, and that is why it is so easy for me to slip away to the forest, but I do wish he were a bit more attentive, if only for the betterment of his well-being. So where did you get that sword? It's yours. But how can that be? Service in the king's army is supposed to be for life, unless something dreadful happens. Were you a soldier once? You were? Impressive, but... You're asking if I remember meeting you before. I don't. I'm very sorry. But how wonderful to already be acquainted. It's no surprise I felt comfortable with you right away. When was it that we met? A long time ago. Do you happen to know if that was before or after I was kidnapped by the great dragon? If it was before, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any of my memories from that time. When the dragon enchanted me, I ended up forgetting everything about my life before. It was very troublesome. On the bright side, he turned out to be a lovely conversationalist, so that wasn't so bad. Being trapped in his tower for 5 years. Oh, it was before then. I'm sorry I don't remember you. If you were anything like you are now, I'm sure we were great friends. Oh, we were friends! How nice. But now I'm even more sad that I can't recall that time. We must have met while you were learning combat skills, is that right? When all the trainees are living on the palace grounds? Then, if we're close in age, you would have completed your training soon after I was taken. But then why are you a woodcutter now instead of working in the palace serving the royal family? Not that there is anything wrong with being a woodcutter. It seems like a lovely life. You were disgracefully dismissed because you abandoned your post. Becoming a king's guard, it is an honor most can only dream of. What could have been so important that you would leave your duties behind to attend to it? Mr. Woodcutter? Won't you answer me? No? You say we were close friends before? I noticed when you were carrying me that you have quite a serious scar along your neck that seems to extend down your back. That scar, it looks as though you were burned very badly at one time by a ferocious flame. Not unlike the breath of a dragon. You know, when I was finally let go after those 5 years in captivity, my father told me that he had been unable to spare the manpower to try and rescue me. And because I'm so good with animals and beasts to begin with, he had been sure I would be fine anyway. And yet, I was convinced. There was one night in the dragon's lair that I heard someone calling for me. Later, I wrote it off as nothing more than a dream I'd had. Perhaps it wasn't a dream after all, but the voice of a dear friend, trying their best to reach me, even in the face of an impossible adversary. I wouldn't be upset, knowing that at that time they couldn't save me. Just knowing that they had tried for someone like me. That would be enough. Anyway, when I said that I didn't think my father would refuse your request for my hand, I did not know that you had once been a royal soldier. Because of your history, he may turn you away, even though you have undoubtedly done a great deed by helping me now. But I would like to plead on your behalf. If it were up to me, I would see you become a guard again. My guard. what better way to get to know you before our proposed wedding than by having you by my side, protecting and guiding me, especially when the one currently assigned to the job has surely been fired by now. I have never asked the king for anything, because I've never really wanted anything, but I think I want this. It may be terribly selfish of me, and surely I've done nothing to deserve such special treatment, but I will ask for it because I want you. As my guard, of course. You seem so reliable. And if you can be brave, so can I. Oh, nothing. I wonder, can I trouble you for just one more cup of tea before I fall asleep? Your brew is just so lovely. It's sure to bring about pleasant dreams, and we will both need all the rest we can get before we journey to the palace tomorrow. Yes, we will need to be prepared. It's going to be a big day.